Cue the music, let's go. I'm your boy Ro, contributor for State of the U and OG member of the Orange Bowl Boys, and welcome to another edition of X's and Ro, the series where you ask the questions and we answer them to the best of our ability. Coming in strong, Tony Valdez at TonyDammy1627, proud Patreon OBB family member. Thank you, Tony, for the question. Mario was asked what he envisions his offense and defense to look like at Miami. His answers were multiple. Can you elaborate on what that means? Well, Tony, I don't think we have to go very far. How about the last time the University of Miami Hurricanes played a game, and that was against the Duke Blue Devils. So right off the jump, I'm going to go to the offensive side of the ball. This is a spread ace-gun look from their 10-set personnel. They're running a screen, right? So successful, they get it out to the rooster. He's going to go ahead and net them, a first down on it. Now, later on in the game, you're going to see a tight formation. This is when they went to their unbalanced look right here. They sneak in a offensive lineman, guys, as a tight end. This was successful for them down the back end, and here you go. Good run, first down. So that's multiple. You're spread, then you're tight, okay? Now, let's go over to the defensive side of the ball, and I think this paints a really good picture as well, okay? On the defensive side of the ball, earlier in the game, here you go. You see they're in an odd man front, Tony. So this is multiple. You have a zero-tech defensive tackle, and on the back end, well, they show two safeties, but they're going to go ahead and rotate to a robber into a cover three. Cam Kitchens, with great awareness on the play, breaks up this play. It was fantastic. And earlier in the game, well, now you're in an even man front. You look to be in that traditional 4-3. This is man across the board with a single high safety, 4-3, man 1. And then they're going to go ahead and try to attack the gap. They influenced the play, still successful. Good shot here by Amari Carter. Kept himself in the game. That was good. And there you have it. I know this is the Manny Diaz era at the end of it anyways, and this is the Mario, but multiple is multiple, and this is what I feel Mario is alluding to. St. Louis Kane at Ohio Hurricane asks, Bryles versus Brady, who does Ro like and why? Man, that's a tough question. I've been on that Kendall to Kendall train for a very long time. But let's go ahead and look at Kendall Bryles first and some of the things that I appreciate about his game. This is how early I was a fan, because you got to go back to the RG3 days. And one of the things I always noticed and appreciated was how he'd like to spread out the field. Look at the number 2 wide receiver. He's +3, +5 outside the hash. And then you have the number 1 wide receiver. He's touching numbers. And when you have a strong arm quarterback like RG3 at the time, Tyler Van Dyke fits this mode, you can go ahead and run this slot fade, one-on-one football, surgical dime, bang for 6. Now, on to Kendall Bryles again. We have familiarity with this guy. This is De'Aaron King. Well, his 50-touchdown season was with Kendall Bryles. And this play caught my eye because it's a max protect over concept. Well, guess what? It was about 2 games ago, the University of Miami scored a touchdown on the exact same play. It was a max protect over concept. So I think Bryles could seamlessly fit here if that was the option. Now, we're going to go over to Joe Brady, and I know there's going to be a debate, and I'm going to answer it on a future question on this film. But obviously, he was the pass game coordinator, called some plays in the tight set, so I wanted to find a tight series set. And here you go. This is really creative when you consider this is a flood concept, but it's how they go ahead and attack Alabama that's creative. Because typically, your 1 wide receiver is going to stay deep. Your number 2 is going to stay like the medium option. And then you're going to have your running back typically in the flat. But that's not what they do here. And then I like this creative wrinkle because the 1's going to go deep. The number 2's in the flat. And it gets this linebacker a little confused. And that's all Joe Burrow. He needed to go ahead to complete this pass. I think you have great options at the offensive coordinator position. I'm happy with both. You're pulling my arm asking me to choose. Man, I don't think I can. So a lot of Joe Brady chatter this morning. What's your best argument to those against hiring Joe Brady? That question came in from Luke Cheney at Luke_Cheney4 on Twitter. Best argument. Well, I want to read something first, and this is from an article and an interview with Steve Ensminger, the primary LSU play caller. We talk about it before the game. I tell him I know what my strengths are, and I know what my weaknesses are. Joe is better with our compact packages. Joe is better at our empty packages than I am. So I tell him, we talk about it before the game. Look, when I want to go empty, be ready. If it's 3rd and whatever, and I have a call, I make it. If not, I tell him he has it all highlighted. I'm fine. Take it. Compact meaning our bunch packages, a condensed formation, stuff like that. He's better at it than I am. I know it. I tell him, hey, I want to go whatever it is, bunch, pack them all in there. I said, call it. He's ready for it. So Joe Brady did, in fact, have some autonomy there to call plays at LSU. Now, he mentioned the tight and bunch sets. So I want to go ahead and look at these. Here's a tight formation. I used this clip earlier. It's a unique way of getting into the flood concept where you inverse the number 2 and number 3. It caught the linebacker off guard and that boundary corner. Bang for 6. Then you also go ahead and look at this tight to the set formation. Easy concept for the quarterback here because he's going to read the safeties over the top. Top side, it's going to be leveled outs. He's got that against a cover 3 look. Against a cover 2 or cover 4, he could go dino the double post. This is easy for a quarterback to see. They stay 2 down the middle of the field. He hits one of the posts down the middle. That's easy score. So I like it. So those are some tight concepts that I think correlate to what Joe Brady was doing for the LSU Tigers. He was the Broyles Award winner. That was the award for the top assistant in the country that year. They won a national championship. He was interviewed for numerous stops as an NFL head coach. And I know his offensive coordinator stint at the Panthers didn't necessarily work out that well. He was called simplistic. But let's be honest. Simplistic in college is a lot better than it is in the NFL. Hard-hitting question coming in from Sergio Silvestri at Serge Silvestri, Twitter online. Mario had a young but talented quarterback room. However, he continued to stick with Anthony Brown despite his struggles. Even went down by 21 plus points against Utah. Any thoughts? Well, even across the continental U.S., we heard about this quarterback dilemma. I even witnessed a game when Anthony Brown got booed by the Oregon faithful. Now, without knowing fully the backdrop of the quarterback room, who was ready, who was not, I want to give Anthony Brown some credit at least. He won 10 games as the Oregon starter. So, let's go ahead and fast forward. Because that quarterback room for Mario Cristobal is no longer an option. But I'll tell you who is the option, and that's this guy right here, Tyler Van Dyke, who he just said, I don't think you can find a better quarterback in the nation. He essentially called Tyler Van Dyke the number 1 quarterback in the country. So I have a feeling maybe that would have been his starter at Oregon if he had the option. Now, managing the most important position on your team, the quarterback position, yes, that is going to be important and the challenge that Mario Cristobal needs to overcome time and time again to be successful at the University of Miami. But I like his chances because the kid that he inherited, he's damn good. This question comes in from Abe Gata at Gata Abe, Twitter online. How does Mario transition Lashley's scheme personnel and still maintain success? I'm so happy you brought up that question because I want to direct you to my YouTube channel as well, Roman Marcianti, because my last video entitled The Miami Hurricanes Need an OC Just Like Rhett Lashley. I feel in video format it's going to answer a lot more to this question that you just asked. But I'm going to give you some highlights of that and some key critical components. You mentioned personnel. Miami has a very favorable 11 set and 12 set personnel grouping. And what does that mean? Well, 11 set personnel means essentially you have 1 running back, 1 tight end, and that's going to give you 3 wide receivers on the field. Well, you got the 3 amigos. You have a young core that's hungry and ready to go ahead and assert themselves into this lineup. And you still have Will Mallory coming back and Arroyo, who's an effective option at tight end. So your 12 set can be very effective as well. And I believe that the University of Miami's next offensive coordinator is going to go ahead and consider those personnel groupings. But you want to ask me my personal opinion as far as what maintains the most amount of success? Well, it's this guy right here, Tyler Van Dyke. Because Tyler, ask him. New OC, just ask him. In Rhett Lashley's system, what did you appreciate? What did you feel gave you the most amount of success? What were your favorite plays? And if you have that in mind, Tyler's going to make you look good. Because obviously in that system, he shined. He broke records down the backstretch. So whoever's going to come in, and I feel they're excited to work with Tyler. it would probably behoove them to go ahead and ask Tyler, what exactly is his favorite thing to do? Because this one was nice. Oh, yeah. Duke Buddy right there. Cement shoes. Some subtle shoulder warfare. And you know what's coming. Bang. This is going to be the last question of the evening. We're going to jump to the defensive side of the ball. But before we do there, let's jump to this series' sponsor, Caneswear. The everything store for everything Canes. Check them out at their Davie store location or online. They'll hook you up. Now, King Kane 13 at Canes Gang 13 asks, who is going to fix the defense? Well, at this moment, it's too premature to tell. A defensive coordinator name has not necessarily emerged, but I'm sure Mario Cristobal is going to attract top-notch talent. But I know what is going to fix the defense. And what is going to fix the defense? Honestly, simply being able to tackle is going to pay huge dividends. And I know that's simple. But when you are essentially the last team in the country over 2 seasons in missed tackles, the University of Miami needs to improve tomorrow in that area. Some personnel groupings, too, you need to go ahead and take a look at. Maybe you upgrade at a couple positions. Regardless, if you can find a system that puts pressure on teams without putting so much pressure on the defense itself, I think you're going to have a nice mix, and I think you're going to have an uptick defensively. But it all starts with tackling the guy on the offense. I'm your boy Ro, contributor for State of the U and OG member of the Orange Bowl Boys, and as always, stay safe out there.